So the last C is cost analysis. So you must always do a thorough cost analysis of a property before you decide to run it as serviced accommodation. So I'm going to show you an example of the spreadsheets that I use when I'm doing an analysis of a serviced accommodation property that I'm going to run, and I'll talk you through it as we go along.
So when doing your cost analysis, you should make sure that you include everything that I've got in this example here. So you want to include the average night base rate that you're going to be charging for the property. So you might be charging a little bit extra in the summer months, but a little bit less in the winter. You should try and make this an average rather than the highest nightly rate that you're going to charge. And if you're going to charge an extra rate for extra guests that you have above your base, then you should include that here as well. Are you going to charge your cleaning fees to the guests, or are you going to have these as one of your costs? I'd say do whatever your competition are doing. If other people are charging a cleaning fee to the guests, then you can as well. If they're not charging this to the guests, then you shouldn't either, to make your property in line with your competition. Here you put your rent or your mortgage. So rent is likely to be higher if you're doing a rent-to strategy. But you should put in accurately what your rent is going to be in here. If you're unsure exactly what your mortgage rate is going to be, I'd stress test at a higher percentage than is likely. So I tend to stress test at about 6%, even though at the moment it's likely that you can get one for about 4.5%, just to make sure that the property definitely is going to make you money. Utilities and things like that here. So you've got your water, gas, electric, things like that. For serviced accommodation, you tend not to have council tax. You apply for small business rates, and then you can get business rates relief as well. If you've got multiple serviced accommodation properties, then you might have to pay some business rates. So I've popped this in at £200 there, which is again quite high, but if you're unsure, always are on the side of higher rather than lower. Broadband and TV here, and any insurances that you have to pay here as well. If you're going to have someone else manage the property for you, then you can put things like that in as well. I tend not to, so I leave that blank. Cleaning per changeover, how much is it going to cost for your cleaners to be there? And then laundry per person per changeover. So how much is it going to cost to get all the laundry done for that person? So the towels that they've used, the bedding, the pillows, etc. If you're going to have someone checking in with the guests, so when they arrive, giving them the keys, talking to them, making sure they're okay with everything in the property, then pop that in as well. If you're not going to have that, then you don't need to consider this. Booking fees, so how much are Booking.com, Airbnb going to charge for you to make a booking with them, and then card fees as well in there. Again, stress these a little bit higher if you want to. I recommend it, just so that you know that you've definitely got the space there. And then you can go and have a look at your profit over here. But remember, put all of these in before you look at the profit.
So the important point here is to do the cost analysis in full before you have a look at the profit boxes, so you're not tempted to tweak and make changes as you go, so that the profit boxes meet the criteria that you're after. Hi, my name is Sarah and I specialise in serviced accommodation in Cumbria and the north of England. I have experience of over 15 properties in this strategy and an expert team around me to manage large portfolios. I am looking for landlords who would like a long-term corporate tenant with a guaranteed rent every month with no voids, without any extra work and no Section 24 tax to pay. Do you know anyone like this? If so, please get in contact via Facebook, email or phone. Thank you.